have a question regarding prenups because your wife didn't want one, correct?
Yeah.
I remember I saw her speak somewhere and she went on this whole spiel about you wanted a prenup.
Yeah.
And she says, nope, I'm not getting a prenup. We're not getting married. The only way we're getting married, no prenup. And then you said, okay.
Yeah, that's true.
Why did you agree at that time for no prenup? You wanted one initially.
Yeah, look, I mean, we'll play this out. I'll later I'll find out whether this was the right thing to do or not. But I don't think that's a problem, right? The issue is not the prenup. The issue is how am I going to live with another human being every day? How am I going to get along? How am I going to create? How do I create when you're new in the marriage at 40? How do you create when you're 50? How do you create when you're 60? How do you create in the later, supposedly the golden years to make them golden? A lot of things in my life are still to be played out, and that could be one of them. That could be one of the most expensive decisions I ever made in my life.
What would you say to your daughter? Let's just assume you're getting married.
She will definitely get a prenup.
That's what I was about to say.
1,000.
But what if
I will have him killed?
But it's the love of her life, and he says, I don't want a prenup. I'm not getting married.
I would tell her she will absolutely get a prenup. 1,000%. Or she will never get access to my whatever my little bucket is.
How is your wife different in that scenario with you and her?
I don't know, and I don't want to turn this into to a troll kind of clickbait thing, but as much as you'll be tempted to. But I think we would both look at it different today. We never dreamed we would be where we're at right now. There's $4 or $5 billion worth of real estate. There's the 11 companies that are probably worth $3 or $4 billion. I never thought ever in my lifetime we would be where we're at. But we are, and she has participated, despite the fact that she's not in the office doing X, Y, and Z, and I am. She has participated in many ways beyond what I would have ever asked a wife to do for me. She has been a phenomenal partner for me, and I hope this is never used in a court of law against me. But I mean, in a deposition, I would have to say, yeah, dude, she participated.
Yeah.
Now I would not. Just for that.
Go ahead.
Let's say there was a divorce, okay?
Right.
And she's like, I want half. I'm like, dude, that's not fair.
Right. She didn't participate 50-50.
You did unbelievable. I don't even know how to measure what she's done. The support. Never nagging on me. Never, not one time in 20 years saying, oh, you work too hard. Never, not one time. No, like rare arguments about anything. Like she's been a phenomenal partner. Childbirth, these two guys, without drugs, at home, without us bringing them to a hospital.
Impressive.
She's a fucking warrior, man. Okay? So all that being said, it still ain't worth half. I just wanted that for the deposition.
How do you balance running a business and having such a happy marriage?
It's hard, man. That's a very difficult thing to do. It's very difficult. I'm in the war every day, right? To me, every day is a battle. I'm not coasting.
Yeah.
I'm not a coaster here. I'm uphill most of the time. Most of my days are 4s on a scale to 10. Today would probably be like a 3 since I spend so much time with you guys, but especially this guy. But rarely do I have an 8 or a 9 day. So I'm going home most of the time beat up, hammered, didn't get what I wanted, lost. And then I got to be somebody else when I get home, and I'm not great at that, right? Because I'm still dragging that with me. So it's a bit of a lot of communication.
Yeah. What's your advice to me? I'm getting married next year.
Yeah, just get an agreement. Not just the prenup's not the important thing. I mean, I guess it could be, but more importantly, what I would say is make sure that person is ready to go on the same ride you want to go on, and that your ride might actually be bigger than you even know today. If the past 33 years of your life is anything like the next 33 is like the last 33, you've underestimated everything you would do and did not predict most of the great things that you would do, including what we're doing today.
Sure.
Even 6 years ago, you didn't think we'd be doing this.
Definitely.
Now we're doing
it.
it. So when you were 6 years old, you never imagined you'd be in a room with all this gear. So you have underestimated. You've actually missed mispredicted all the things, all your potential, you'll do the same thing. You'll look up later and say, God damn, dude, I had no idea I had this much potential. Much like a little kid does when he's riding a bike for the first time.
Yeah.
He can never imagine that he's going to be, popping wheelies or riding a motorcycle one day because he's so overwhelmed by this one piece of machinery. So that's what I did. Just make sure she's on the same page for the whole ride, bro.
Sure.
And that's what I got from Elena. I said, look, I'll give you anything except one thing. I will not ever compromise my dreams. And I like to work. I like to produce. Don't ever ask me not to. This is the thing I want to do. And she never has. Mm-hmm. And don't spend a bunch of money on your wedding.
Yeah, no, we're not spending that much.
It's stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think we're going to be all in under 15 grand.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
All in.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Probably going to turn to 20, but.
Yeah, maybe 25. Are you bringing him?
Yeah, he's officiating.
Oh, yeah? What does that mean?
I get to
You read the whole thing?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
he
awesome.
said, and then we say, I do.
Oh, cool.
To
You're a
Jack.
minister?
just apply online, $20. Take me.
Anybody
a couple
could do
hours.
You're an online minister.
It's easy.
It's
Yeah,
pretty
it's easy.
Yeah,
simple.
where are you going to do the wedding?
We're between two places. One is a winery that we
Okay,
picked out,
yeah,
and another is a friend's house.
Okay.
And so the house would be a lot easier. It's a really nice place, and
Yeah.
we could have it basically the whole weekend. So
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
simple, but
Yeah.
the winery looks a little nicer for photos.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
is there anything you're fearful of when it comes to your daughter, in terms of just
Well,
both
sure,
growing
dude,
up or entering the real world, or
Yeah, a lot of things, man. I worry about her and Scarlett more than anything. They're liabilities for me, right? Because I worry about somebody taking them. I remember watching people get really successful and then they had to have security around them. I'm like, dude, that's got to be terrible. And then one day, I'm like, oh, I got to have security. Not for me.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about me. I'm worried about her. So that concerns me. Two is the world out there, dude. It's she went to, what was that school you went to?
I went to Oxford for a summer camp.
Yeah, you think it's going to
Yeah.
be a great school, right? She's calling me the first day saying, hey, these people are crazy.
what was wrong with it?
There was this one guy.
Yeah.
Okay, weed, vape, all that kind of stuff was. All the kids were just having it. It was 2 weeks. Okay, people were doing stuff with each other, sneaking out and going to each other's rooms.
Oxford, as in Oxford College.
Oxford College.
How old were the people there?
Yeah, so everyone's old, right?
13 to 16.
Oh, 13 to 16. Oh, wow. Okay.
It
Well,
was
yeah.
insane. It was
Sure.
insane. It was not the experience that I wanted. It was not the experience that I was expecting. I went there to study politics and international relations. I did not learn very much from that course. That being said, I did learn a little bit, but we did classes 2 hours a day, 4 days a week. It's nothing,
How much was it? What did I pay for that? $8,000 or something?
More than that,
my gosh.
maybe too much.
Tell
Too
them
much.
I called her.
They didn't feed us
Yeah.
very well. But that being said, it was kind of a good experience for me. I kind of enjoyed it. It was fun to live on my own. I didn't like anyone there though.
But tell them,
Yeah.
on the 2 days before you ended, right before it ended, I called you and said, ask all the kids if they think it was worth what their parents paid.
Nobody agreed that camp was worth it. Not a single kid. Not the ones who were selling weed and vape.
Why did they disagree? Because the education was poor?
Because the education was horrible and there was no control in that school. And the counselors knew what was happening, but they were like, okay, if we don't catch you, it doesn't matter. They said that to us.
Headline this.
They said to us, if we don't catch you, you can do whatever you want. The kids, they loved being wild and free and doing whatever they want, but they did not agree that it was worth their parents' money, and they thought it was a waste. And none of them, or at least 90% of them, are not going to go back next year. So, I mean, it was a waste of money and probably a waste of time, but experience.
Is there any part of you that wants to have that sort of teenage experience?
There is no part of me that I do not believe that I would enjoy that. I've never been the kind of person who's liked to go to parties. I've never liked to, and this actually reminds me of a good point. That school that I was going to, Miami Country Day, one of the best schools in Miami. Shakira's kids go there, I think. J-Lo's kids, I think, go there. I'm not sure. I know Shakira's kids go there. And it is known by the alumni of the school, and it is known by people my age who are aware of the schools in Miami that school is a very druggy school. There's a lot of drugs, a lot of alcohol. like especially when it gets up to like high school and stuff. And there's also like a lot of rampant bullying there. It's the weirdest thing. You wouldn't think, you think nice school, okay, they're gonna keep it controlled, they're gonna keep it regulated, keep the kids in line. No, kids do whatever they want. I really like to be in control. I really like to be at like cause point of whatever I do. I don't think any part of me would like to go drinking or to do drugs, and I've never done any of that kind of stuff. And I have no interest in ever trying it.